Quick but urgent disclaimer, this video is not for children. It contains inappropriate content such as swearing and other things. You have been warned. It was March 8th, 2018. I was a really fucking annoying 12-year-old and I was watching the new Nintendo Direct. And it was already pretty exciting. Kirby, Mario Tennis, Captain Toad, Hyrule Warriors, and even more. All of this was pretty cool, and then this happened. Holy fuck. This was such a cool reveal. It came after a section dedicated to Splatoon information, and the trailer made it look like it was just gonna be more Splatoon information. But nope. The Inkling girl turns around, the Super Smash Bros. Logo appears in her eye, and then it cuts to silhouettes of a bunch of characters. And then that's it. That's the trailer, and of course it sent the internet into an absolute frenzy. Everyone, including myself, was wondering, okay, this is an entirely new Smash game. This is huge, but who is gonna be in the game? We already knew about the Inkling girl, and obviously characters like Mario and Link would be in it. But who else? Which new characters would be coming in, and which characters would be returning? Everyone went crazy. People started analyzing the silhouettes from the trailer, making theories, trying to find leaks and rumors, but nothing was confirmed until E3 2018. See, E3 was huge, which meant game companies had to deliver on the hype with huge announcements. And Nintendo seriously fucking delivered because they announced that every single Smash Bros. Character, every single one from the previous games in the series, would be returning. These crazy motherfuckers announced that the new Smash game would have every single goddamn character. It was insane. I couldn't believe it. No one could. The game was called Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, or Super Smash Bros. Special if you're in Japan, and it truly did seem ultimate. Every single previous character, plus new ones, would be in the game, and it looked incredible. It looked incredible. And then it came out, and it was incredible. I had pre-ordered Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, because it looked so amazing. I pre-ordered it. That's how hyped I was for this game. I rarely ever pre-order games. In fact, I don't anymore because I have severe trust issues, but the hype for this game alone made me want to pre-order it. Well, also because pre-ordering the game meant you got to play as Piranha Plant, and that was an opportunity that was way too fucking weird and funny to pass up. It's safe to say that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate had successfully delivered on the hype. For at least a full month after the game dropped, I played it absolutely non-stop, both alone and with friends, and I had fun every time I played it. Every character, plus more, was here. The game looked incredibly stunning, and there was more content to keep you coming back every time. It had a fucking theme song, a great one, perfect for a definitive Smash game. Colors weave into a spire of flame, distance. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you there. Sorry, I was just singing the Smash Bros. Ultimate theme song with the lyrics that are not on the inner sleeve. Yes, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was incredible when it first came out, but does it still hold up? God, I cannot believe it's been this long, but 5 years later, let's find out. But before that, I've done a video like this before, but with Super Mario Odyssey, and if you want to watch that one, check it out with the link above. And also, if you want to see more videos like this, then please consider subscribing and turning on post notifications. I am super close to 500 subs, the new monetization requirement for YouTube, so it would really help me out and allow you to see more videos about Nintendo games and other stuff. But without further ado, here's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate 5 years later. My first Super Smash Bros. Game was Brawl for the Wii. I actually didn't even seek out that game myself. In fact, I'd been actively avoiding it because for some reason I was pants-pissingly scared of the edgy-looking character designs and the fact that it had a T for teen rating. But I received the game as a Christmas present one year. At this point in time, I was the owner of a DS and a Wii, and I had very specific requirements for my video games. They all had to be either Mario games, Monkey Ball Touch and Roll for the DS, or Wipeout the game for the Wii. I was a weird fucking kid. So the fact that this game included characters in it that weren't from Mario made me think that I probably wouldn't like it. But before announcing it completely, I figured that I'd try it out, and I'm glad I did because it changed my life. I'm not even joking. Not only was the game extremely fun, it also got me into other games. Seeing Link, Samus, Fox, and more made me go, huh, maybe I should check out all of their games. And I did, and now I'm into all of them, and I'm much more inclined to check out new games, which is terrible for my wallet, but great for me. The Super Smash Bros. Series is a celebration of video games. It takes characters from all sorts of IPs, even non-Nintendo ones, and puts them all into one huge hype-filled game. And a few years and a couple releases later with Ultimate, that'll become especially apparent. The first incredible thing about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate that holds up even 5 years later is that sense of celebration that the series is known for. It doesn't matter how you're playing it or who you're playing it with, it's still just as huge of a sensation as it was back then. But this isn't a video about Super Sensation Brothers, it's a video about Super beat the fuck out of each other brothers. So let's talk about how characters beat the fuck out of each other. Here's how this video will work. I'll talk about the gameplay, art, and music in the game before moving on to the other aspects of it in the pros and cons section. And finally, after all of that, I'll give the game a definitive review score and state whether it's aged well or not after 5 years. But first, the gameplay. I may hold some bias given how the Nintendo Switch is the only video game console I currently own, and therefore I'm super used to its controls, but I think that Smash Ultimate's control scheme still holds up all this time later. Regardless of whether you're using one Joy-Con, two Joy-Cons, or a Pro Controller, the gameplay feels tight, fast-paced, and fun. You're able to perform smooth moves with ease, and it feels great. But even aside from the control scheme, I think the gameplay still holds up well. Depending on the game mode at least, but more on that in a bit. Without a doubt, Smash Ultimate was a massive risk and a massive game. A game with so much hype, so much promise, and so many expectations could have easily turned out as a complete mess. But thanks to the development team, and of course my beautiful wife, Masahiro Sakurai, it didn't. It lived up to the anticipation and so much more. Unlike Mario Odyssey, which I went back to after a few years for the video I made on it, Smash Ultimate is a game that I play a lot more often. Not trying to shit on Odyssey, obviously, but it's just not the same type of game. So I wasn't that worried about Smash Ultimate being a flaming pile of garbage in the year 2023, but yeah, it's good to see it's not. A 2D fighting game from 2018 really shouldn't be this much fun 5 years later, but it is. If you play by yourself, it's fun. If you play with friends, it's even more fun. If you choose to play a different game mode, it's just as, if not more, great. And if you choose to play online, guys, look, like I said, I love this game, but here's the thing. Smash Ultimate's online play is a little poopy. I rarely ever play video games online anymore, and I don't think I've played Ultimate online in years, so this doesn't impact my enjoyment of the game that much, but I do remember this online mode sucking ass, and from what I can tell, it hasn't improved all that much. Connectivity issues, lag, just kind of a janky system, and more make the online mode not live up to its full potential at all, really. But aside from that, the gameplay is still great even today. And although good gameplay is obviously very important for a good game, it's not the only factor to take into account when discussing how solid a game is. How it looks is all. The game looks incredible. Like, even today it still looks fantastic. The character designs are gorgeous, the stages all look super pretty, barring some, and the visual effects when you play the game are just awesome. Pow, you hit the other character in the face real good, and that iconic red strike appears before they're launched off the stage, an explosion marking the spot where they're last seen before losing. When you activate your final smash, it seriously does feel Super Smash Bros. Special, because all of the focus suddenly goes to the amazingly animated final attacks and shows them in their full, brutal glory. Well, it is an E10 plus rated game, so maybe not brutal, but you know. With so many characters, Ultimate is bound to have some that look absolutely jarring in some environments. Mr. Game & Watch and Ice Climbers beating the ever-loving fuck out of Solid Snake, for example, is a pretty weird sight. But it also makes the game so much more cool to look at. Ultimate doesn't just default all of its characters to one single art style, it celebrates all of the different and wacky art styles that they're drawn in. Also, if I ever say wacky again, please murder me, please. All in all, the graphics look great. Sure, they may not be completely on par with some of the games getting released today, but they're still more than solid and fit a game like this super well. But enough about the art, let's move on to the music. Even outside of the awesome cinematic opening theme, the music in Ultimate is absolutely amazing and iconic. The music that plays when you're sifting through the selection screen, the original music for stages like the default one in Final Destination, the countless iconic tracks from other games, whether they're originals or re-recorded, that feature in their respective stages. All of these tunes and more are completely unforgettable. They're booming, they're exciting, they're perfect. Like, seriously, tell me with a straight face that you don't get pumped when Vampire Killer starts playing on the Castlevania stage. Even aside from the music, the overall sound design in the game is just great too. The sound effects when you hit someone are satisfyingly loud, the noises when you perform signature moves by the characters you're playing as are easily recognizable and iconic. Hell, even just starting the fight comes with an explosive, earth-rumbling sound. It's so fucking cool. Anyways, now that we have the gameplay, art, and music covered, let's talk about the pros and cons of the game that I didn't mention in the previous sections. The first thing I wanted to bring up was how good the game is at keeping you coming back. Even aside from the fact that it's probably one of the first, if not the first games, that you think of when you have friends over and you're looking for something to play, Smash Ultimate helps keep you engaged with playing the game. How? With its extra content, of course. The game had 2 entire DLC waves, adding additional characters, stages, and even songs to the already expansive list. Extra features were added. These new updates made you want to come back to the game. The team behind it absolutely knew what they were doing. Every time a new character was announced and added to that sick poster-like character portrait, every player collectively went to their Switch to blow extra money on an already $60 game, myself included. In fact, the way that the game had such a vast amount of playable characters and promised a fuck ton of shit and still managed to be so good is a feat to behold. So many other dev teams could have easily rode on the hype for the game and gotten lazy with actually making it good, but Masahiro Sakurai put his whole gorgeous pussy into making Ultimate. Hell, even outside of the fights, playing the game is awesome. This is gonna sound stupid, but a good UI can really be what makes a game fantastic, and Ultimate proves that. As soon as you start the game, you're greeted with flashy and cool visuals, awesome music, and a stylized yet easily accessible selection screen. Even when you're just in the stage of choosing a game mode, you're already filled with anticipation for when you actually start a fight. This continues with the stage and character selection screens, which are just so huge and awesome. And then you select your stages and characters, play the actual game, and repeat. And every time it's super engaging. I absolutely love this game. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's the definitive Smash game. It's not perfect, though. The game's story mode, which is a term that I'm using very loosely, sticks out like a sore, lopsided testicle. And to truly explain why that is, we'll need to take a look at Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Yeah, Brawl may not be as good as it was back then. For one, the insane cast of characters that Ultimate has is not there, but also the controls feel a bit gimmicky now, and the edgy character designs I mentioned earlier look so dated, and it's hard to take that early 2000s Nintendo realized that Wii games look too happy and family friendly and wanted to appeal to the cool kids aesthetic seriously. Like, come on, why the fuck is Mario looking at me like that? This dude's worst enemy is a fucking turtle. But you know something that the game has over Ultimate? It's story mode. Before Ultimate, Brawl was the first and only Smash game to feature one, and it was fucking awesome. It added a cool, engaging, original, and weird story, as well as platforming and boss fights, to an already incredible game. Ultimate, on the other hand, has what can barely even be described as a story mode. It essentially just has an extra battle mode disguised as one. I'll be honest, I kinda wish that Ultimate just went the 3DS and Wii U route where there wasn't a story mode, because in my opinion, no story mode is better than promising a completely new story mode in your game and not really delivering on that promise and leaving fans disappointed. The lack of a substantial story mode in Ultimate doesn't even really make me mad. Well, okay, yeah, it does, but it really just makes me more disappointed than anything. The trailers made this mode look so exciting and interesting. Like, seriously, was a single person not stunned by that insane opening cutscene? But in reality, it just turned out to be some lazily implemented mode created to show off the new Spirit system, which, by the way, I hope they don't include in the next game because it was fucking stupid. As for my last con, this is a very minor complaint, but the fact that the game features Breath of the Wild Link And then, for some reason, A Link Between Worlds Zelda irks me a little bit. First of all, Breath of the Wild Zelda has such a cool character design, and it feels kinda wasted not being in here. And second of all, the fact that the character designs are from two pretty distinct generations of the same series fucks with my OCD. And finally, why A Link Between Worlds Zelda out of all of them? She's like the least relevant one. Alright, sorry for getting sidetracked there. It's time to deliver my final thoughts and a review score for this game. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate changed the game, no pun intended. It's absolutely the ultimate Smash game, with an insane roster of characters and countless incredible aspects that allow for hours upon hours of fun. Back then, I probably would have given this game a perfect 10 out of 10, but today, I think I'd lower it down a bit to a 9 out of 10. I love the game, and there's a reason that it took the world by storm, but there are some shitty aspects of it that are more noticeable with the hype for the game now dying down, and they definitely need changing before this can be considered a perfect Smash game. I guess a sequel has the opportunity to do that, but I'd still absolutely say that it is the best Smash game so far, and hell, I'd even call it the best fighting game. Though, obviously, that's pretty debatable, and I do not play a lot of fighting games, so. But with all of that said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and all of that stuff. It seriously helps me out, and like I said earlier, I am super close to getting monetized, so subscribing really helps. And of course, if you want more videos like this, as well as other ones about video games, anime, and music, and stuff like that, then turn my post notifications on so you get notified when my next video comes out. I hope to see you in the next one, but until then, bye!